Good morning, this is Roy Bandari with TalkCondo.com, and today we are very fortunate to be joined by Eric Kuzuian, who is the president of the PSR brokerage, who is going to be handling the sales and marketing for a very, very exciting project called Kingsley Condominium. So Eric, thank you very much for your time today, and we're very happy to sit down with you.
Thanks, Roy. Pleasure to be here.
So when we look at these new condominium projects, there tends to be a number of things that we look at when we're advising our clients. We always say that it has to be by a top builder, it has to be in the right location, and the project itself has to have all the elements that we like to see. So we're going to sort of talk about those one by one, and I'm going to start by talking about the developer.
Sure.
When we buy pre-construction, more often than not, you're buying the developer. You've got to buy somebody who's going to deliver something they say they're going to deliver. And in this case, it's really exciting because it's the collaboration of Allied and RioCan is very unique in this situation. So why don't you give us a little bit of an overview on Allied and RioCan and what makes that so unique here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely unique. This is the first collaboration that they're doing on a residential property. So you're looking at two Canadian iconic companies of endless amounts of success, and Allied themselves is probably have the largest portfolio of the coolest commercial space in King West. They do have it all over the country, they have it all over the city, but they definitely have a strong foothold in some of the coolest properties that they've developed in King West on the commercial side. So you're kind of getting that whole understanding of product that is beautifully designed. So you're looking at a company that pays great complement to the neighborhood.
For sure.
Really understanding exactly what the demographic and whether it's commercial offices that people are coming to lease, and now understanding on the residential side what the target market is looking to in terms of home ownership.
Well, last week we spent some time in the QRC building, which is, if you've not been in it, it is one of the most stunning pieces of architecture and design and build, and it's just phenomenal. Like the lobby with I don't even know how many stories.
It must be like 40 feet tall.
Yeah, it's huge and it's incredible. And so to be able to bring that kind of build quality to a residential building is, again, something so unique and one of the real important pieces of the puzzle here.
Yeah, they've really honed in on taking heritage buildings and paying tribute to what was already there, and bringing in this modern flair of futuristic design and kind of creating what can be in the future.
For sure, and we're going to talk about this building specifically as later on in the video, but I have to bring it to the front. The brick finish on the outside, again, so unique to this project. It's not like the other towers in the area.
Yeah, you've done obviously quite a bit in terms of condo sales. You know what all the buildings in terms of developments usually consist of. This is definitely a very regal, old world type of Kingsley, type of construction, where it is masonry and brick finish all the way up, and that's really going to stand out compared to what's the norm in the neighborhood.
I think it's really exciting that Allied are involved in this, and we're really excited about that part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to switch gears and talk about King West.
Sure.
I don't think, I'm not stroking ego here, but I don't think there's anybody more qualified in Toronto to talk about King West than yourself. You sold countless buildings here. Right. Any building that is important in this neighborhood, you've been involved in. Your headquarters, where we're sat today, is located in the heart of King West.
That's right.
And of course, you run a brokerage where the resale agents are very, very dominant in this neighborhood. So, from start to finish, you've seen this neighborhood where it was, where it is, where it's going to be. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, first of all, the lifestyle of this area. Why are people so attracted to this neighborhood?
That's a great question. I mean, I think because it encompasses all aspects of true lifestyle of what people are looking for in an urban city like Toronto. You have great architecture, in terms of one of the pioneers in the neighborhood who really put King West on the map with free developments. So a lot of the call it edgier buildings that started coming here in the late 2000s. We did a project with bringing in a Philippe Stark, bringing in the Thompson Hotel. So we started really understanding that the neighborhood really needed this new movement of the way residential was going to be built and was going to be lived in. Once that started happening, you had some of the greatest restaurants and bars starting to come into the neighborhood. And I think the attraction to the neighborhood is its proximity to the core, but the fact that it's just 5 minutes outside and it really has beautiful parks, heritage buildings, and where it really has that juxtaposition of old, new,
For sure.
modern, traditional, and I think that really spoke to the demographic of the neighborhood.
I think what's really, from my perspective, what really makes this unique is that it's really got this community feel. Like you said, up the road is the financial district.
Right.
Come out a few minutes and it's got this neighborhood feel, this community feel, which is really unique in Toronto.
Yeah, you don't really see, we always say it's the same way we kind of position our values as a company trading right in the neighborhood. You don't get your big box stores in King West. You have your butcher, you have your florist, these really service-oriented boutique type of operations, and that's really adds to the feel and the culture.
For sure.
And it's been great. It's really seen such a movement in the last 8 to 10 years. And you're right, we do trade quite a bit in the neighborhood, and we understand it. And Kingley was no different when we were brought on. We knew exactly what the floor plans, what the units, what the amenities, and when we saw this design by Hariri Pontarini, one of the best architects in the game, who headquarters is right beside the site, right at the corner of King and Portland, we knew it was going to be a win-win right from the beginning.
Awesome. You mentioned how much activity your resale agents do in I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask about the resale numbers and the rental numbers, which, again, you look at the city and this pocket commands some of the best resale, some of the best rental rates. I just wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I would attribute that to two factors. One being that you're not really in a high-rise neighborhood. So there's restrictions in this neighborhood, which again adds to the feel of the neighborhood. So you don't have a lot of product that's constantly changing or available. We see that special pocket that's kind of west of Spadina, east of Bathurst. This direct pocket definitely is quite competitive and aggressive in the pricing, and it's getting it. So we've on my desk the other day, I think I saw a couple of just over 400 square foot studios just trade in the mid-9s.
Wow.
And the rental for a 400 square foot studio is now at about $1,850, $1,900 a month.
That's incredible.
So it's way over almost $5 a square foot. And if you're on the MLS and you're checking for rental in this neighborhood, it's gone tomorrow.
There's no vacancy.
It's gone.
It's gone. And that again, it speaks to the whole neighborhood. So
yeah, because I think it's very unique to be right in the core, but have this neighborhood feel, and I think that's exactly what most people are looking for.
For sure. So again, let's switch gears one more time and talk about Kingley.
Right.
I know it's a project you're very excited about.
I am excited.
We're excited about it.
Yeah.
There's so many elements about this project that I think are great. I think the commercial building, we can spend 20 minutes talking about the commercial side. There's the retail all along the promenade,
right.
The brick finish, the along the floor, and that goes into the building. And so let's touch on the commercial side first, because I think that's important as well. So there's some very exciting commercial tenants in the building.
Yeah, so I mean, Allied, they're known to bring in some great tenants, and this is 250,000 square feet of office and retail that is completely leased up, with two major national brands being Shopify and Indigo, who have decided to move their headquarters into this neighborhood. And that's the exciting part, because once you start bringing employment into an area, and not just employment, like major companies who are coming to the area, it further sustains the fact that this neighborhood's here to stay, and this neighborhood's going to just keep elevating in terms of appraised values, tenancy, and everything that comes with it.
I agree 100%, and I think as a city as a whole, I think it's great to see these companies setting up their headquarters in our city. So, retail, so important for this area. It's, retail is the reason King West is King West, right? Again, not on it. This is something that Allied have taken very seriously. Allied and we have kind of taken very seriously.
Right.
So, talk to us a little bit about the retail and.
So, right down the street, like you mentioned, or right down underneath the building, Buca's located, and their first location, their original location, where they started, their courtyard outside their restaurant is part of the courtyard that's going to be part of this project. And then along King Street and along the promenade going towards Adelaide, the whole retail is serviced for, food, beverage, coffee shops.
And that comes
cafes.
from you guys knowing what this neighborhood.
Well, I'd love to take credit for that, but I know Allied knows what they're doing, and obviously RioCan as well. So I think they knew right away when they were positioning this building what the uses would be on the retail floor, because that's what the neighborhood desires and becomes the most successful type of tenancy. It is unique the way they did marry both access from the Adelaide side to the King side to the Portland side, and like you mentioned, this interior pathway that's this beautiful cobblestone interlock type of finish that and having the coffee shops going along it gives you this amazing old world European feel that is like no other.
For sure. Give us a head count of the project. Give us the stories. How many stories? How many suites?
Yeah, it's definitely a boutique project.
Yeah.
It's only going to be available to 130 lucky people.
Yeah.
It's 16 stories tall.
Yeah.
And the project, understanding the neighborhood, we don't do studios in these type of projects. The entry point is definitely going to be a 1-bedroom. And we have some 1-bedrooms, some 1+ dens. And then we have some great 2-bedrooms that range from the 630 square feet, but most of the 2-bedrooms really start at like the 800 to 1,100 square foot range. And then we have some 3-bedrooms that are from 1,000 square feet all the way up to 2,700 square foot penthouses. The lower penthouse floor have terraces that will come with gas lines and water lines, and there are some terraces on the east-facing units on the 3rd floor and a couple of
spectacular
setbacks.
views on that.
East-facing is a great. Obviously, you're seeing the beautiful the city skyline, and again, because you're not in a high-rise area, you do have these views, believe it or not, from the 3rd floor.
Excellent.
Right.
A lot of times when we look at boutique buildings, there has to be some sacrifice on amenities. And what I've seen, I think we've seen that that's not the case here.
Yeah, I don't think the word sacrifice runs well with Allied or RioCan.
Yeah.
So they're definitely, not pulling back in that department.
Sure.
So you're dealing with any type of amenity you could think of. And again, a tribute to the design of the building, a tribute to position the building to be the nicest building in the neighborhood. You're dealing with timeless amenities where you have a rooftop amenity floor with outdoor terrace and a private dining room and a lounge, and these are designed by 2x4 and Hariri Pontorini to be, again, very elegant and quite different than what the neighborhood's used to. We've like you've said, we've done quite a few buildings in the neighborhood, so the gyms are usually not the greatest in terms of giving up amenity space. This building took a different direction. It's a double height gym, looks like any other state-of-the-art fitness studio that probably charges memberships, and that's going to be included. And it'll also be one of very few buildings in the neighborhood that's going to have a 24-hour concierge. And it's, again, our decision was 130 units, 24-hour concierge, could it be expensive? Probably, but we know the people in this building want it, and that's the type of feel and the type of living that we're positioning this building to offer. Awesome.
So great location, great building, great builder, really great amenities. Floor plans, we've seen a few of the floor plans, and they're beautiful. Like it's so functional, so efficient. Features and finishes of the suites.
So again, you're dealing with a level above what everybody else has seen in the neighborhood, whether it is a 1-bedroom or a 2,700 square foot penthouse, it is the same finishes. We are doing fully integrated appliances. We are doing islands everywhere, standard as per plan if we can fit them. We are doing hardwood everywhere. We are bringing in some great European appliances, and what's really unique to the project as well is standard light fixtures in every principal room and even over every island, which is not what you usually see in the product. We change it. You usually get the light switch with the plug in the wall. No, we have full outlets at every principal room. They wanted to treat this like homes, personally, regardless of the size of it, and that's again really unique, and people will see the difference when they actually see the floor plans.
One of the other things that is very unique about this project versus virtually everything else we sell is that it's already under construction.
Yeah, that's the real unique part. And again, when you're dealing with these very successful companies, they are self-financed, and they have the ability to start construction. So they have, and they've brought the best in the business. Ellis Don is doing the build, and they're flying. So currently, if you walk out of this boardroom and we look outside the windows, you'll see that they're already on the 6th floor. So occupancy for this building will be in 18 months.
Excellent.
And what that also does is it speaks to both types of purchasers. So the investor who doesn't want to wait 4 or 5 years to get their money going and working for them, exciting. And then, of course, the end user who doesn't want to get beaten up in this really aggressive resale market can pick the unit they want, pick the finishes they want, know that it's never been lived in, it's theirs, and move in 18 months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're excited. If our clients are interested in purchasing, what do they have to do? Who do they have to call?
Yeah, they got to call TalkCondo. That's who they got to call. I think TalkCondo is obviously a great relationship we have. We've known for many years, and I think they know who to call.
Yeah, it's a very competitive market now, and and knowing the avenues and how to secure the units is very important.
Yeah, we value relationships. We're very supportive of those who've supported us, and I think they're in good hands with you guys.
Great.
All right.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks,
we
Roy.
look forward to the Kingly Condos.
Absolutely.
Thank you.